Greetings. It is I, Dirty Devlin, and I am your host for Vaudezilla Vision. I'm here today with Miss Titty Perkins. Today we'll be talking about cleaning your costume. Well, to begin with, can you tell me a little bit about just general tips for cleaning your costumes?
Definitely. There are two really good ways to clean a costume. One of them is dry cleaning, and the other one is hand washing. You want to dry clean very specialty fabrics, things like fancy silks or vintage fabrics, or even things like leather and suede also need to be dry cleaned. They take a little bit of special TLC, and it's not something you can really care for at home. But other things, such as undies and bras, can be hand washed. You want to be very careful of the fabric type of the garment. These are mesh, so they'd be very safe to wash. And they just have a little crystal embellishment, so it's also safe to hand wash with a mild detergent.
And this is from your personal collection?
It is Dirty Devlin.
Fantastic.
One thing, especially with this one, is you want to be careful with fringe. If you hand wash fringe, you want to make sure it's laid flat to dry. Otherwise, the fringe tends to unravel a bit and look untidy.
Well, if I am working with more specialty fabrics and do need to take it to a dry cleaner, how do you recommend I go about finding one?
A great way to find a dry cleaner is to contact a local theater society or theater school if you have one in your area. They often will have a really good dry cleaner that they suggest to use, who will be able to take care of a garment.
Now, if I'm a performer on the go, as so many of us are, how do you recommend putting together your cleaning and costume repair supplies?
I usually carry a few things in my show bag with me when I go to perform. One of them is a good pair of scissors, which is a lifesaver. So many people need scissors backstage. I also put a little ribbon on them so that they don't get confused and they always find their way back to me. Another thing I always have is a needle and thread. This is a little kit. And it actually has pre-threaded needles, which is very handy. And another thing I like to carry is a little case of safety pins. Safety pins are really helpful lifesavers. If you need a last-minute costume repair, or you have something like a hem that's falling down, you can always use a safety pin to remedy that. And then you can also carry a little bottle of vodka, which can be used
yes, you could. Do you have one on you right now?
You know, I seem to be missing my flask, although you can purchase a little spray bottle in a cosmetic aisle at a drugstore or a place like Target, and you can use that to fill up with vodka, and you can use it to deodorize your costumes.
What's been a difficult costume item to repair?
So I have this pencil skirt I wear for my telephone act, and the zipper tends to get very stuck. It's an invisible zipper, so those can be a little bit difficult. And a really quick fix for a stuck zipper is actually a chapstick. If you carry a little chapstick around with you in your show bag, it can be used to lubricate the zipper, so it comes undone a little bit easier.
Always good to have lubrication on hand.
Always.
Have you ever had any costume that's caused you the most problems in terms of repairs needed?
Definitely. I have a yellow dress that I wear for my fan act, and it actually has a boa sewn around the bottom. And one performance, I actually got my foot stuck in the feathers. So to unstick my foot, I actually had to rip off the whole boa from the hem, and I actually ended up ripping several inches up the side of the dress too. So I had to repair that, and you have to be very careful with feathers, especially boas on the bottom of dresses, because they are very easy to get caught up in.
Now, what do you recommend as etiquette if you happen to be sharing a costume with another performer?
Well, any costume, especially a burlesque costume, is an extremely intimate garment, so you want to be very courteous towards the other person's garment and respectful. Obviously, if any damage occurs while you're using the garment, you want to be as upfront with the person as you possibly can be. It would really be unfortunate for them to discover a damaged garment right before a performance, for example. That would be just heartbreaking. So you want to make sure they know about anything that happened to their garment.
Great. And you'll send them the bill.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much, Titty.